The next topic that we need to discuss is ecological pyramids. What are ecological pyramids? First of all, each ecosystem is characterized by the interaction of food chain, the metabolism relationship between the linearly arranged biotic components of an ecosystem. And this characteristic is called as trophic structure, something that we just discussed. Now, the trophic structure and function at successive trophic levels, that is from producers to herbivores to carnivores, that can be shown graphically by the means of an ecological pyramid, where the first or the producer level constitutes the base of the pyramid and the successive level that the tiers are making the apex. So first of all, what is a pyramid? Pyramid basically is any shape that has an apex and has a base. So you can say that this basically is a kind of a pyramid where there is a apex and you have a base at the bottom. So normally whenever we make a pyramid, we normally see it as having a triangular base and then an apex at the top. So ecological pyramids basically show us the trophical structure and function at each successive trophical level. So first of all, let's see what kinds of pyramids do we have and why do we need these pyramids. So first of all, we have a pyramid of number, you have pyramid of biomass, and you have pyramid of energy. So pyramid of number will show the number of individual organisms at each level. Then after that you have pyramid of biomass, which shows the total dry weight and other suitable measure of the total amount of living matter in the given trophic level. And then you have pyramid of energy, which shows the rate of energy flow or productivity at successive trophic levels. So these are the three types of pyramids that depict the number or the biomass or the energy in any given trophic level. So the pyramids of numbers and biomass, they can be upright or inverted, but the pyramid of energy will always be upright. Please remember this fact. This is a very, very important fact for your prelims examination. If at all they ask you which of the following pyramids can be inverted, and then they give you options, so you need to remember that pyramids of numbers and pyramid of biomass can be upright or can be inverted. That is, they can have a shape like this or they can have a shape like this, but the pyramid of energy will always be upright. It will always be like this. So we will discuss why this is happening. Once you understand it conceptually, that why pyramid of number can be inverted or why pyramid of biomass can be inverted, you will not need to remember this fact. So first we'll start with pyramid of number. So first of all, pyramids of number show relationship between producers, herbivores and carnivores as successive trophic levels in terms of their numbers. So the pyramid of numbers show the relationship between these three trophic levels in terms of their absolute number. We are not calculating the energy, we are not calculating the mass, but only the number of individuals at each trophic level. So in grasslands, the producers, which are mainly grasses, are always maximum in number. This number then shows a decrease towards the apex as the primary consumers like rabbits, mice, etc. are lesser in number than grasses. The secondary consumers, snakes, lizards, etc. are lesser in number than the rabbits or the mice. Then finally the top consumers like hawks or other birds are least in number, thus the pyramid becomes upright. So you have a number of producers, then you have primary, then you have secondary consumers like this. So the number keeps on decreasing. So if you look at this particular picture, you will get an understanding of it, that first of all you have the primary producer. From the primary producer, let's say if this is the number of individuals, then the number of primary consumers will be only this much. Then from there the number of secondary consumers will only be this much. The number of tertiary consumers, which will be much lower. So this is an absolute number that you can see in a given grassland ecosystem. Similarly, if we talk about a pond ecosystem, so in a pond the ecosystem So in a pond ecosystem, the pyramid is upright. Here the producers, which are mainly the phytoplanktons, are algae, bacteria, etc. They are maximum in number. Then the herbivores, which are smaller fish, etc., they are lesser in number than the producers. Then the secondary consumers or the carnivores, such as small fish, etc., they are lesser in number than the herbivores. And finally, the tertiary consumers or the bigger fish, you can say, are the least in number. So that's why it is also very similar to the grassland ecosystem, and that's why this pyramid is also upright. So if you look at this particular picture, you start with a plant or a phytoplankton, then you have smaller fish being consumed by bigger fish, and so on, and that's why this is also upright. Then the next one that we have is a forest ecosystem. Now in forest ecosystem, what happens is that the pyramid of number is somewhat different in shape. The producers, which are mainly large sized trees, are lesser in number, and they form the base of the pyramid. The herbivores, which are fruit eating birds, they, or it can be deer, it can be elephant, etc., they are more in number than the producers. Then there is a gradual decrease in the number of successive carnivores again, and that's why this pyramid again after this point is upright. So if we talk about this factor, you see, you start with one tree. This one tree may have these many insects. These insects will be consumed by sparrows, and these sparrows can get consumed by a hawk. So if you see, after this you again have an upright pyramid. But if you talk about the entire shape, this does not have a regular shape at all, because from 1 to, you are going to 2000, from 2000 to 90, and from 90 to 1 again, and that's why this is not an upright pyramid. The next one that we have is pyramid of number in terms of parasites. Now in parasites, this food chain is always inverted. This is due to the fact that a single plant may support the growth of many herbivores, and each herbivore in turn is able to provide nutrition to several parasites which support many hyperparasites. So what are parasites and what are hyperparasites? If you look at this particular picture, you have a producer from where you have herbivores like food eating birds. Then from there you have the parasites like lice and bugs, and then you have the hyperparasites like bacteria, fungi, or actinomycetes. So if you look at this, this is an inverted pyramid. So that's why you can say that from the producers up to the consumers, there is a reverse position as compared to a grassland or a pond, or even in case of a forest. That's so the number of organisms gradually shows an increase, making the pyramid inverted in shape. So that's why you can say that pyramids of numbers do not give a true picture of the food chain, as they are not very functional. They do not indicate the relative effect of the food chain or the size factor of the organism. So all these kind of issues are associated with pyramid of number. So that's why we do not say that this is the ideal case of depicting any food pyramid.